Ariel Helwani in Cleveland, gearing up for the big Jake Paul, Tyron Woodley boxing match this Sunday night, going down at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse live on BT Sport Box Office. We're talking right now to Jake Paul's head trainer, the one and only BJ Flores, who has been around the boxing game for quite some time. Who would have thunk it? He'd end up being the head trainer for one Jake Paul. This is an unbelievable event, and there's a lot of buzz. I'm wondering, after what happened on Thursday, have you sensed any change? I heard Jake say it's personal now. It went to a different level. Is there any change? Are you worried at all that he's going to fight emotionally on Sunday because things got a little heated on Thursday?
No. I feel like Jake's going to take it, very professional. Last night in training, we had a great session last night. Nothing's changed. I mean, our game plan stays the same. Emotions and anxiousness got a little high yesterday. The two families' camps are standing in the crowd. The two fighters are talking. The families are yelling. I mean, it's a fight game, Ariel. Sometimes things like that happen. So we meant no disrespect to Mrs. Woodley, to Mama Woodley. I don't think that's what was meant at all. That's kind of how it got turned around. Like that's what we were doing. It wasn't like that at all. Jake didn't even say a word to her, but people are excited for the fight, and I feel like that's kind of brewing over right now, and the game plan stays the same.
So, there's not a lot of footage on Jake Paul, the boxer, but you've seen him, all these rounds, sparring, training every single day. Could you tell us, based on what you've seen over the past few months, the biggest difference in his skill set now going into this fight as opposed to the Ben Askren fight in April?
He was good in that fight. He was very good, and I feel like if that fight would have got into the second or third round, people really would have seen and walked away from that fight like, wow, this kid's pretty good, but he didn't get a chance to show that. I would say Jake's probably about 12 to 15% better than he was in the Ben Askren camp. Another 160 rounds with probably 7 or 8 good professionals who all have 20 to 30 fights. No going easy in the gym. Always, Kronk style sparring, hard sparring. I feel like that's the best way to get him ready for these fights, get him ready for these moments, because he didn't have the amateur career. So we got to replicate that in the gym. He's a lot better. I feel like his boxing IQ is raised up a lot as far as what it takes to beat an opponent. Seeing what the guy does in the first round, computing that, and coming up with different things he's got to do to take those assets away from his opponent. I think that's raised a lot, and I feel like his power has gotten even better.
How do you game plan for a guy who's making his boxing debut? Of course, has fought in MMA, but as you know, it's a totally different sport, right? The stance is different, the attack is different. You're worried about takedowns and knees and kicks. So when you're even preparing for Woodley, are you even watching his UFC fights?
We've watched everything. I've watched every piece of film content Woodley's put out over the last 5 years.
Does that give you any insight?
I don't know. I don't know if it does or not, but there's a book called The Art of War, and in that book it says just learning about your opponent, learning every single thing you can about him won't hurt you. It definitely won't hurt you. So there might be a situation in the fight where one little piece of information that I remember comes back and it helps. So I feel like it's always good to do more homework than less homework. Do I expect the same fighter that I saw in the UFC octagon? Not at all. But it still gives me, being in the fight game almost 30 years, it gives me like little hints of he's explosive, he's fast twitch, he's quick, certain punches that he likes to shoot. It's going to be different in the boxing room, of course, and we'll adjust to that. But just different tendencies that he has, I think there's going to be some similarities, yes.
So as you may know, he's one of the greatest UFC welterweight champions of all time. He's on my Mount Rushmore. However, his last 4 fights, the knock against him, and it wasn't really the case for the last one, but certainly the 3 previous, he's like almost stuck in neutral. Like, where's the old Tyron? Where's the aggressive guy? All that stuff. Now he's going into a sport where he's a newcomer, right? He's out of his comfort zone. If he was stuck in neutral in MMA, which is where he was a champion, do you expect to see stuck in neutral Tyron, a guy who's going to be a little bit tentative, fish out of water in this new sport with this whole new skill set to worry about?
No, I don't. I feel like he's, you got to look, with his last 4 losses, he was fighting some of the very best guys in the UFC. So it's not like he was fighting bad opposition. He's fighting very good opposition. So you got to look at level of opposition. And I think with Jake, I don't think Tyron respects Jake. I think he looks at Jake as a small challenge. I think he didn't take it as serious as he probably took the other 4 fights, and I feel like he's going to come right out and try to be the old Tyron. So if he does that, it creates a very short night for us. So he'll walk right into our trap. We've got a game plan for that, but I feel like like I said, I feel like he's very dismissive of Jake, and I feel like his ego coming into this fight is a massive advantage for us.
You feel like he is overlooking him?
100%, yeah. He's not taking it because in his mind he can't possibly know what's coming to him on Sunday. He doesn't understand. And that's fair. As a fighter, there's no way I would think that a guy who just learned how to start boxing could possibly challenge me in a fight with only 2.5, 3 years training. It's uncomprehendable. But mark my words, he's going to be very surprised in round 1.
What's the trap? If he comes forward like that, aggressive, reckless, like MMA fighters tend to do, what's the trap?
He'll walk into something right down the middle, no problem. If he backs up, it'll be a short night. If he comes forward, it'll be a short night. Like I said, he's got an excellent team around him. He's got very good trainers, so hopefully they put him through the paces to, get him ready for what's going to happen. But again, there's not that much out there on Jake Paul. There's nothing to look at and say, oh, Jake fights like this. This is how Jake is going to come out and attack. Like, people don't really know. They just know he's got a lot of power. And he's got a lot of power coming forward or going backwards. So that's going to be something very difficult for Tyron to deal with for 8 rounds.
I know you respect his head trainer greatly.
Oh, yeah.
Gerald Tucker, you just referenced him. I was just talking to him, and he said, look, obviously you want to end the night in the first round. You want to go home unscathed. But if this goes into the 4th, 5th, 6th, Tyron's been there before. He sat on that stool going into the 5th round of a championship fight. Jake hasn't. We like our chances if it goes longer. You just told the media, if this goes longer, we like our chances. Why do you like your chances with your guy who's only fought 2 minutes collective against a guy who's been there 25 minutes against some of the best?
Because what we've done in the gym for the last 3 years, 2.5 years, 2 years that I've been involved, and seen Jake get stronger as the rounds go on over and over and over and over again. It's not like a one-time deal where we're in the 4th round, the 5th round. He goes 8 all the time. He goes 6 all the time, rotating different guys in because one guy can't do it. So Jake's like I said, Jake's like a shark. Once he gets in the water, he wants to swim, and then once he tastes a little blood, he wants to eat more. So it's like he gets stronger as the rounds go on. Nobody knows that because all the fights have ended in the 1st round. But if this fight gets into the 3rd or 4th round, people will see that. And it's exciting because to see a fighter who just started to get stronger as the rounds go on because he's in such incredible shape, it's just a testament to his work ethic and a testament to, his preparation. So you got to like a guy who works hard. Whether you like him or not, you got to respect a guy who works hard.
What impresses you more about Jake, his right or his left?
His left.
Why?
Just
because he gets a lot of credit for the right.
He does. The right's very powerful. The left, the left is very sharp. And we got a little surprised, too, how we're going to come out tomorrow. Whether we're – Tyron's going to have to worry about both, right and left.
Southpaw?
So we got a couple things we've been working on, and it's going to be tough to prepare for what we've been working on. So Jake comes out left-handed, Jake comes out right-handed. We'll see how Tyron reacts to both, but we got a couple little surprises for him.
Before I let you go, just curious, you have a great reputation. You've been in this game a long time, and I know you've kind of put everything towards Jake. You don't train anyone else. You're just his head trainer, and that's it. And you still continue to see the comment, YouTuber, Disney. I know you wear the hats and all that stuff, but Jake Paul's a boxer now, right? This has changed. It hasn't just become like the sideshow YouTube thing. I feel like we could be seeing him 10, 15, 20 fights. Does it annoy you when you hear these comments still that he doesn't get the respect that he deserves, in particular from the boxing community and the fans?
No, it's natural. Whenever a newcomer comes in and he's very loud and you could say obnoxious, but I say he's very misunderstood. And the reason why he's misunderstood is because this guy works. He works so hard. So he's going to get slack. People haven't seen him do it long enough or do it for enough rounds to give him the credit that he deserves. But it'll come. We're patient. We're not going anywhere. And after Sunday, I think we'll be a step in the right direction.
He beats Tyron. You want Tommy Fury? I know you're focused on Tyron, but it feels like we're going that direction. Do you like that fight for him?
It could. I love that fight for him. Obviously Fury's got a great name. He's 6-0. He'd be 7-0 then. That's the name a lot of people are throwing at us. But, it's Jake's show. It's not Tommy's show. Tommy's never headlined a pay-per-view before. We have no idea what Tommy would sell. Tommy hasn't really ever fought anybody good. Neither has Jake. But after this Sunday night, that'll be a little different. Jake will have the best name on his resume compared to Jake and Tommy. Tommy we don't really know much about him. He's been fighting in the UK against guys with no wins, honestly. It's going to be tough to say, what Tommy actually brings to the table. Does that, style-wise, that create a good matchup? I think so. Business-wise, I don't know.
Okay.
Yep.
Well, I wish you guys the best.
Thanks, brother.
Looking forward to it. Great stuff up until this point, and can't wait to see how it all unfolds on Sunday.
Appreciate it. Thank you so much.